Intel just told 30,000 experienced professionals that decades of expertise were no longer worth a salary. Not because they failed, because AI made them optional. And the most disturbing part is not the number, it's who was on the list. These were the people who were supposed to be safe, the ones with the skills, the titles, the tenure. If they weren't protected, what makes you think you are? We went deep on exactly what Intel did, why they did it, and which companies are running the same playbook right now. Here is everything you need to know and what you must do before the next announcement isn't about Intel. 30,000. That is the number Intel just erased from its payroll. Nearly 1 out of every 6 employees worldwide, not junior hires, not contractors, but teams packed with decades of experience, gone. The cuts hit hardest in the United States, where 12,000 to 14,000 jobs vanished from flagship fabs in Oregon, Arizona, and New Mexico. Across those manufacturing floors, up to 20% of technicians, engineers, and operators lost their badges. In Europe, Ireland, and Israel saw thousands more roles eliminated in client computing and data center groups. Asia-Pacific operations, including Singapore and Malaysia, were not spared either, with entire units in foundry services and edge AI slashed. Even subsidiaries like Mobileye and Intel Security faced deep reductions. No department was immune. Manufacturing, research, engineering, and middle management were all targeted. Some teams lost half their managers overnight. The company's internal memo spelled it out. These were not performance cuts. They were structural. If your job could be automated or streamlined by new tools, it was on the chopping block. The message was blunt. Past achievements and seniority no longer offered protection. Wall Street did not flinch. Intel's shares jumped 5% in after-hours trading once the cuts were announced. Investors saw the bloodletting as overdue, proof that the company was finally willing to do what it takes to compete with leaner rivals like NVIDIA. For everyone left inside, and for every professional watching from the outside, the signal was unmistakable. Even the safest roles can disappear overnight. If Intel can treat 30,000 people as expendable, what makes you think your own job is untouchable? Inside Intel's headquarters, the real engine behind the layoffs was not a single executive decision. It was software. Artificial intelligence-powered automation tools rewrote the rules of who mattered. Take Synopsys DSO.ai. This is not just another design program. It is a digital workhorse that closes timing, signs off entire chip designs, and generates verification environments. These are tasks that once chained teams of engineers to their desks for months. Now, the software does it in days. Cadence Cerebrus, another tool in the arsenal, handles analog layout and test pattern generation. What used to demand a room full of specialists can be churned out by algorithms. Intel's own internal artificial intelligence platform pushes even further. Auto-generating RTL, test benches, and verification scripts. The result? Verification teams that once seemed untouchable are suddenly running lean, sometimes with 30% to 40% fewer engineer hours per project. How does this math translate to jobs? If a tool can do in a week what a team did in a month, why keep the team? Intel's internal memos did not mince words. Roles that could be automated were first on the list. The company pointed directly to these artificial intelligence tools as justification for the cuts. Legacy verification flows, once considered the backbone of chip development, had become a cost center. Instead of hundreds of engineers slogging through manual sign-off and testing, a handful of artificial intelligence-augmented specialists now oversee the process. The message is clear. If your job can be described by a checklist, a neural network can probably do it cheaper, faster, and without complaint. So ask yourself, if the software can learn your job, what is stopping it from replacing you next? Google, Microsoft, IBM, SAP, and Cisco, one after another, are rewriting their org charts, following the same ruthless logic that gutted Intel. It is not just one company or one unlucky sector. It is a pattern spreading across the entire tech industry, and the common denominator is artificial intelligence. At Google, the push for Gemini and DeepMind has already swept through core software teams and data center operations. In March 2024, an internal memo laid it out. $5 billion were redirected from traditional research and development into artificial intelligence, and hundreds of engineers, researchers, and support staff were cut loose. If your work did not touch the new generative models, you were out. Microsoft is not far behind. With Copilot now handling everything from code suggestions to IT ticket triage, the company began trimming finance, human resources, and help desk roles in early 2025. Analysts and compliance staff were gone. Routine tasks that once filled entire departments are now handled by algorithms and bots. The message is clear. If a process can be digitized, it will be. IBM's Watson X launch in late 2024 triggered a 12% reduction in legacy consulting and mainframe support. SAP rolled out its AI core, then cut technical writers and entry-level enterprise resource planning consultants, betting that auto-generated documentation and low-code platforms could do the job faster and cheaper. Cisco followed, axing middle managers and quality assurance testers as predictive analytics replaced manual monitoring in their network operations. Everywhere you look, the same story repeats. Legacy functions are stripped away, budgets are funneled into artificial intelligence, and the roles that once seemed untouchable are now expendable. If a company as big as Intel can treat its veterans as optional, what makes you think any badge is safe? The AI layoff wave is not coming. It is already here, and it is accelerating. Start with the roles that vanished first. Verification engineers, once the backbone of chip quality, watched as AI-generated test benches and automated coverage analysis slashed the need for human oversight. In pilot projects, teams ran with 30% fewer engineers. Technical writers, the people who turned complex products into clear documentation, found themselves replaced by generative AI that drafts release notes and user guides in seconds. SAP and Cisco each reported a 20% cut in technical writing headcount after rolling out these tools. Junior software developers, data entry, and ETL staff, jobs once considered a safe entry point, are now on the chopping block. Low-code platforms and AI-powered code completion have made entire categories of grunt work obsolete. Microsoft's Copilot for developers let the company reduce junior coding resources by an estimated 15%. Chatbots and automated ticket triage have taken over the front lines. Help desk and Tier 1 support face even starker changes. Microsoft and Google both report a 25% drop in first-line support tickets handled by humans. If your daily routine involves resetting passwords or answering the same questions, the writing's on the wall. Middle management is not immune. Project managers and operations leads, once shielded by experience and seniority, are being replaced by AI analytics dashboards and predictive staffing models. Cisco's network operations centers eliminated several layers of oversight after switching to automated performance monitoring. So, who is really safe? If your job relies on rules, templates, or repeatable tasks, you are already in the crosshairs. The data is clear. Automation is not just coming for the low-skilled, it is coming for anyone whose work can be learned by a machine. What about your role? Can it be described by a checklist? If so, what makes you think you are not next? You can't afford to wait. The jobs that vanished at Intel, engineers, writers, managers, weren't lost to some distant future. They were lost because those workers did not pivot fast enough. So what's your move? Start with skills that AI cannot easily mimic. Prompt engineering, model fine-tuning, and ML ops are now some of the most sought-after abilities in tech. Cloud AI certifications like AWS, Generative AI, Google Vertex AI, and Azure AI Engineer are not just resume fillers. They come with a 30% salary premium, according to Glassdoor data from 2025. Freelance and contract work is exploding too. Upwork and TopTal report a 200% surge in gigs for AI specialists, with rates from $75 to $250 an hour. The message is simple: upskill, certify, and get comfortable selling your expertise on a project basis. The window to reposition is shrinking. Will you act before your badge is next? The countdown has already started. Goldman Sachs warns that up to 300 million jobs worldwide could be automated by 2030. In the United States alone, McKinsey projects 12 million roles will be fundamentally changed or eliminated, many of them in fields people once thought untouchable. For American workers, the clock is ticking. Labor economists put the real window to reposition at just 18 months. Wait longer and the odds of landing another high-paying job drop off a cliff. Policy responses and retraining programs lag the market by at least a year, sometimes more. The message is stark. The market won't wait for Washington to catch up, and wage premiums for AI skills are already surging. If you are hoping for a safety net, do not. The window to act is closing fast. Right now, no title or tenure guarantees safety. Intel proved that. As AI learns faster than any human, even the experts are expendable. The next list could have your job on it. So, what makes you think you're safe? Drop your thoughts below and let's face this reality together.